Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do you know that silly song, Who Let the Dogs Out? Well, that's what I'm going to say, Who Let Reznikov Out? Because Reznikov is at it. He made some statements that are really crazy. I think he fantasizes, I don't know, he's communicating with certain kind of forces that are triggering certain kind of behavior out of this weasel. So what did this guy do now? This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from December 30th, 2022. And this is the title. You only have 1 week left. Reznikov warns Russians about Putin's plan. Now, look at this guy. He's a very trustworthy looking guy. Would you trust this guy? Would you exchange some money, change some money with this guy? I wouldn't. And if you do, then why don't you give me about $20,000 today? And I will give it to you back tomorrow with a 300 or 3,000% interest. You're going to be rich. Come on, give it to me. Oh my God, let's see what this weasel is saying. Oleksiy Reznikov, the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, has warned the Russians that their leadership is preparing for a new wave of mobilization and planning to close the borders within a week. So that is in the 5th. I saw that in many articles where these guys claim that in the 5th, the Russians will start a mobilization not Allah, but Allah as the one that they had in the Second World War. I made a video on that. Now, if you believe it, all right, we'll see. Now, what happens when that will not happen? Is Reznikov going to say, well, things changed? Actually, yeah, I think he's going to come in front of the cameras again. He's going to say, well, if things would have stayed constant as they were, and nothing would have changed in these 5 days from now on, that would have been the outcome, but something happened. Or he's going to say, you know what, it happens, but you don't see it. They do it stealthy. About 30 million Russians mobilized stealthy. Yeah, he's going to say that. Why? Because he knows what kind of strata of the population he's bombarding with his nonsense. So, and this guy is, I'm quoting this guy. On the eve of the new year, I want to address the citizens of Russia who are liable of military service. First of all, this concerns residents of major Russian cities. I know for sure that you have about 1 week when there is at least some choice left. Let's see what is he telling us here. In early January, the Russian authorities will close the borders for men, then declare martial law and begin another wave of mobilization. The borders will also be closed in Belarus. All right, what if that doesn't happen? Would you trust this guy again? Yeah, maybe not you because you're here with me. But you know, there's a group over there that really is like, yes, we're going to trust Reznikov again. Look at his face, Jesus Christ. Look at this guy. Jesus Christ. Anyway, am I stereotyping? Well, after a while, not only with training, but also you need something deeper than training. You kind of realize these people's, or kind of like guessing people's, how people are based on their behavior and appearance. They don't even have to talk. You could have, the first appearance give you a, as women usually say, bad vibe. Yeah, I hang around too many women. All right, details. Reznikov said he was not asking Russians to take his word for it. We will not, and I'm not Russian, we will not take your word. That's it. Bye-bye. See you. Never. Bye-bye. Don't come back. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Anyway, but then he says, but he asked them this question. So it's like I say, honey, I don't love you anymore. But, fuck off, you already said what you had to say, get lost. But now, it was like, I'm leaving now, I leave you, bye, see you, never. But, you know what, I have a question for you. Keep going, keep rolling, boy. Oh my, so this is the question Reznikov asks the Russians. Why you go to fight a war where you could die or become crippled Oh, crippled, that's a very insensitive word, Reznikov. Your American friend's gonna slap you over your beak. Crippled. That's differently abled, my boy. That's the new newspeak. You used to say you can become differently abled for the rest of your life. When exactly will you be fighting for? Well, let me tell you. Can I answer that? Yeah, can I? Can I? Okay, and I'm not Russian. Well, maybe because the West tries to very deep and get them to the position they were between 1991 and 1999. Could that be it? Maybe, where they were the whore of your masters, and they want to turn Russia into a vassal state as Ukraine is, for instance. Is that possible? Well, that's what they think for good reasons. Why? There are many, many evidence, historical events that triggered this invasion. History doesn't start on the 24th of February, Reznikov. For you, maybe because you like it to pick and choose. But reality, when you analyze something, you analyze it with goods and bads, and you go to all the relevant pieces of information and facts and evidence and gut feelings, not. Anyway, so first, why would the Russians mobilize more people? The answer would be if they lose. Are they losing? I don't think they are. I mean, they're going to break through Bakhmut, right? I think they have already, they brought 3 columns of tanks and military equipment and personnel in Zaporozhye. What did you bring? Just hot air, farts, that's all, through your mouth. That's a lot of bullshit. And we don't have information coming only from you as a source, Reznikov. That's the problem. And we look for information from as many angles as possible. And we know that they all lie or have an agenda. We understand that. Now, first, the Russians are not losing as far as I can tell. If they were losing, that means Putin and his clique will be gone. And a weasel will be over there and say, yes, we do whatever you want. We retreat our troops behind the borders or wherever you want to the previous borders where the February 24th borders. We're going to pay all the reparations you want, get us deep anytime, any way you want and anywhere you want. You can also control, as you used to control our nuclear arsenal. You can also bring back that CIA office in Moscow. Is that okay? What else you want? You want our women? There you go. You want to adopt our children? There you go. What else do you want? You want us to eat grass? We'll do that. So you see, all these things, I'm not trying to scare you. Ask people who lived through 1991 and 1999, and they will tell you. They will tell you how in cahoots that those weasels were then with the Americans. Remember how Yeltsin, in the second election, he was helped by the U.S. State Department, my friends. Not only with certain kind of help, look for it. You find it. Why? Because he was the one. Anyway, so this with this. There's no evidence that the Russians will close it. Why would they close the border? What's the problem? What happened? Or what's happening? Can you give us some hints here? And anyway, let's say it happens. What's the big deal with that? Are you a Russian? Did your Ukrainian, not your Ukrainian, I would say your Ukrainian subjects, because Ukrainian nation is Ukrainian nation. You know what I mean. Did Ukrainians ran away? You did the same thing. You closed the borders for these guys. You tell them stay over there, don't go if you're of military age. You instituted military martial law since February 24, and it's extended until February 24, 2023. So everything that you accuse the Russians to do and you consider it as being bad, you already have done it. So if that is bad for the Russians, why was that good for you? I know the answer. Because you are somehow the good guys and they are somehow the bad guys. You see, this is how you think. You're supposed to think until about 16 years of age. 15, 13, depends on what kind of culture you come from and how experienced you are with life, to realize that there's not good and evil unless you remain to a certain kind of level. It's in between too. It's gray area. Sometimes it's an I don't know thing. that you don't know. That's why you can't always have, or you can't know everything. That's why when you ask someone something and that person seems to know everything, and he struggles and it's not the expertise, and you know that person, but how can you know? If you don't know the subject, you can't assess how much that person knows. Anyway, I don't see any evidence that the Russians will do that, and we'll meet on January 5. And I guarantee you that this guy's going to be crickets, or he's going to come and say something that occurs but stealthy, that we don't even fucking see it. They're so good, like the Nazis with other plans that they had, you know what I mean? Solutions. Man, they were so smooth, nobody knew, man. There was no really, those documents, man. Yeah, okay. The same with these guys. Everybody knew about it. They didn't have to put it down as a policy because they knew. Okay, let me play you some Paganini here for you. So, okay, Reznikov, I will meet you on January 5, and I will make a video on the great mobilization, border closings, and, I don't know, martial law in Russia. Pussy, pa. See you next time. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.